We've all seen this story play out. Some huge company, everyone's praising their amazing earnings reports, and then poof, it just implodes, seemingly overnight. But what if those perfect numbers weren't a sign of health at all? What if they were just a mask for a fatal illness? Well, today, we're diving deep into that exact deception, the financial metrics trap. It really is the big paradox of modern business, isn't it? How can everything look so good on paper while the whole system is actually on the verge of collapse? It feels like some kind of magic trick. But trust me, the mechanics behind it are all too real. So let's pull back the curtain. Okay, to really get this, let's think of a company like a patient going in for a checkup. On the surface, everything's flawless. Blood pressure's great, heartbeat is steady. But just beneath that healthy-looking surface, a critical disease can be spreading, totally missed by all the standard tests. And this right here, this slide just nails that deception. On one side, you've got the public appearance, glowing reports, rising earnings, the stuff everyone cheers for. But on the other side, you've got the reality, what's really going on, a system that's quietly weakening, hiding all this risk. The company isn't actually getting stronger, it's just getting really, really good at hiding with cracks. So, if all the standard reports look clean, how in a world do you spot the disease? Well, we have to become detectives. We have to look past those shiny, obvious numbers and search for the subtle symptoms, those little telltale signs that the system is under some serious strain. And these are the 4 big warning signs we're looking for. First up, strategy meetings become completely obsessed with hitting a number, no matter what the long-term cost is. Second, you notice the part of the company that counts the money is going way faster than the parts that actually make the money. Third, real-world risk gets boiled down to just a number on a spreadsheet, totally disconnected from reality. And finally, the big one. The company's long-term health is constantly being sacrificed for the short-term sugar rush of a good quarter. All right, so we've identified the symptoms. Now let's actually look at the disease itself. How does this obsession with numbers lead to such a catastrophic failure? The main culprit here is a practice called financial engineering. Now, it sounds fancy, but think of it like this. Instead of actually strengthening the foundation of a house, you just give it a fresh coat of paint to hide all the cracks. You're not creating any real value, you're just using accounting tricks to make it look like you are, and in the process, you're making the whole thing that much more fragile. And this is the chain reaction, the domino effect of collapse. First, all that financial engineering doesn't get rid of risk, it just bunches it all up and hides it in a corner. Second, the company turns into a house of cards, loaded with debt, and everything's so interconnected that one tiny failure can set off a huge cascade. Then, an unexpected shock hits, and one always does. And finally, all that hidden complexity just acts like gasoline on a fire, amplifying the damage until the entire system just collapses in on itself. So, how do we protect ourselves from this trap? I mean, whether you're working there, investing, or managing, how do you actually see the truth through all the noise? Turns out it might just come down to asking one simple but incredibly powerful question. This is it. This single question cuts right to the heart of any business decision. Are we creating real, lasting value, or are we just moving risk around? Is what we're doing a genuine improvement, or is it just a shell game to make the next quarterly report look good? It's really the ultimate litmus test for a healthy strategy. And that brings us to our final and maybe most important point, the warning sign that tells you it might already be too late, the point of no return. Just let that sink in for a second. When a company's main goal shifts from building great products or services to just managing a spreadsheet, the game is already over. It has traded actual, real resilience for the illusion of stability. And at that point, the only thing left to manage is the inevitable decline. So the final question isn't just for them, it's for us. In our own work, are we creating real value, or are we just polishing the numbers?